Hello and welcome. My name's Emily, and today I have a nice yoga flow for the ankles and the knees. So this is great if you feel quite tight or perhaps you get some pain in the knees and the ankles, especially if you're on your feet all day. Perhaps you have quite a busy job that requires you to be running around on your feet all day. Then this yoga sequence is great just to help loosen tight joints and kind of increase our mobility in our ankle and knees. So when you're ready, we'll get started. Come join me at the top of your mat with the toes together. And we'll pull the kneecaps up to engage the quads, pulling the belly in and tucking the tailbone down, rolling the shoulders down the back, and a slight tuck in the chin in our Tadasana, or mountain pose. On your inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, diving forwards into a forward fold. We can generously bend the knees here. Inhale, lengthen to your half lift. Lengthen through the legs, slide the palms up to the shins or the thighs. Exhale, bend the knees, fold forwards. Inhale, taking the arms out and up, coming all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands can come down in prayer. And we'll do that a couple more times. Take a breath in, inhale. Exhale, release the hands down. Inhale, reaching out and up. Exhale, diving forwards into your forward fold. Generous bend in the knees. Gazing towards the knees. Inhale, lengthen through the legs. Slide the palms up to the shins or thighs for your half lift. Nice flat back. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, reaching the arms back out and up, coming back to standing. Exhale, hands come down in prayer. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, release the hands. Inhale, reaching out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen to your half lift. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, coming all the way back up to standing. Exhale, hands can come down in prayer. Beautiful. And then stepping back either the left or right foot to come into a nice wide stance. So the toes come to face the long side of the mat, hips face the long side of the mat. And we can stand nice and tall through the spine here. Exhaling, hinging from the hips, we'll fold forwards, coming into our wide forward fold. And we can bring the hands down to the mat. If we can't quite bring the hands down to the ground, we can rest our hands on the ankles or the shins. Or if we have any blocks today, we can rest the hands on the block. Tucking the chin in and drawing the crown of your head down to the mat. Slow, deep belly breaths. One more breath. On your next inhale, bring the hands back to the hips. Exhale, come all the way back up to standing. Great. We can turn the top foot out. So perhaps that's our right foot. We'll point the toes to the top of the mat, but keep this back foot in line with the short side of the mat. Extending the arms out to the sides in line with the shoulders. Inhale, reach over the front hip. Exhale, come down into your triangle pose. And we can gaze up towards the top hand. And maybe we rest this bottom hand on the shin. We can rest the hand on a block. Maybe the fingertips come down to the mat. Again, just finding your comfortable resting position. We don't have to be all the way down here. We can be all the way up here. Maybe this is what our triangle looks like today. Wherever we are, deep breath. On your exhale, windmill the top hand down to the mat, coming up onto the balls of the back foot. And we can bend into the front knee. We can walk the right hand to the inside of the foot, and we can gently drop the back knee down and tuck those toes. So we come into a lizard. And we'll stay up on the palms to begin here. And just breathing into this asana. And then to work on our ankles, coming into our front foot, we'll press the balls of the feet and the toes into the mat to lift the heel up high. Exhale with control, slowly lower the heel back down to the mat. And we'll continue like that with our breath. So inhale, lift up that heel nice and high. Exhaling, lower. 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. Great. Bring that heel back down. We can plant the palms into the mat. Tuck the back toes under and lift the knee. And we'll dip it out. So on our exhale, gently dip the knee down to the mat. We're not dropping it onto the mat. We're just hovering slightly above. Inhale, extend the leg, shine the back of the knee up to the ceiling. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. 1 more. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhaling, we can gently drop that back knee down, untuck the toes. And then walking the right foot back into our center, if that's the foot we have at the top. Inhale, lengthen through the front leg, coming into our half split. And we can grab hold of our blocks here if this is quite intense in the body today. And we can bring those blocks just to rest underneath the shoulders. We can play around with the height of the blocks. It's just to avoid that rounding in the spine so that we don't lose the stretch in the back of the leg. So just finding your comfortable points here in your half split. And we can either stay here in stillness or we can gently sway the hip from side to side, just targeting some different angles in this stretch. Maybe you'll feel it on the outer and inner sides of the leg. One more breath. Exhale, we can sink back into that foot, plant the palms into the mat. Tuck the back toes under and we'll step it back to our downward facing dog. Take a moment to paddle out the feet here. Stretching out the legs. On our next inhale, look between the hands. We can walk, step, or jump the feet between, coming into a half lift, nice flat back. Exhale, bend the knees and fold forwards. Inhale, reaching the arms back out and up, coming all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands come down in prayer. Beautiful. So we'll do the same on the other side. So we started with the right foot forward. We'll now start with the left foot forwards. So we can step that right leg back 1 leg distance. I'll switch myself around so you can see the front of me. So we have our left foot pointing to the top of the mat, the short side. The back foot is in line with the short side of the mat as well. Hips in line with the long side, and we can extend the arms in line with the shoulders. Inhale, reach over the hip. Exhale, come down into your triangle. Looking up towards that top hand again. Finding a comfortable resting position for the left hand, whether that's on the ankle, the shin. Maybe we just hover. And nice deep breaths. One more breath. Exhaling, we can windmill that right hand down to the mat. Bend into the front knee and come up onto the balls of the back foot. We can then walk the hands to the inside of your left foot and gently dropping the back knee down, untucking the toes. Coming into our lizard. And just holding here for a few breaths before we add in our ankle and knee mobility. So on our next inhale, pressing into the balls of the front foot, pressing those toes into the mat and lifting the heel up as high as you can. Exhale, gently dropping that heel down. I'll just move my hands out the way so you guys can see. Inhale, pressing, lifting the heel up. Exhaling, lowering down. Couple more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Planting the palms into the mat, tucking the back toes under and lifting the knee. And we'll dip the knee out. So on our exhale, gently lower the knee down towards the mat. We're not touching the mat, we're just hovering above. Inhale, extend, lengthen that leg. Exhale, bend the knee, lower down. Inhale, lengthen. One more. Exhale, lower that knee down. Inhale, lengthen, reaching through that back heel. Exhale, we can gently drop the back knee down, untuck the toes. And then walking the foot into the middle. We can inhale, lengthen through the front leg, coming back to our half split. So we can grab hold of our blocks again here if we need. And we're flexing those toes up to the tip of the nose. We can have a bend in this knee. We don't need to be locking. And we can stay here in stillness, or maybe some gentle sways of the hips from side to side again. Just targeting some different areas in the leg. Help loosen up those tight ankles and knees. And then we can come back to our center, hold for a breath. Exhaling, we can sink back into the front foot. Planting the palms into the mat, we can tuck the back toes under, lift the knee, and we'll step it back to our downward facing dog again. And we can paddle out the feet here, stretch out the legs. Turn myself back round. One more breath. On your exhale, gently bring the knees back down to the mat. Untuck the toes and bring yourself to sit with the legs round in front. And we'll bring ourselves down to lying here. So just casually help yourself come down to lying on the back. And just bring the knees in towards your chest for a quick hug here. Maybe a little rock side to side for the back. And then keeping your knees in towards the chest, we can extend the feet up into the sky. And then either holding onto the backs of the knees, the calves, sides of the feet, or even using the peace fingers to hold on to the big toes. The hand placements are endless for this one. We can then bring the knees gently out to the sides and pulling in towards the armpits for our happy baby. And we can either stay here in stillness or maybe some gentle rocks side to side. And just enjoying this one here. Maybe if you feel a little bit silly, you can treat yourself to a smile here. We can have a little giggle to ourselves if we need to just feel a bit more comfortable in this asana. Feeling that beautiful stretch in the hips, in those knees and in the ankles. Making sure that we're flexing the feet here. The toes are pointing. Heels are reaching to the top of up to the ceiling. Exhale, we can bend the knees, give yourself a nice little hug here. And then bring both the feet down onto the mat. So the knees are bent and we have the feet about hip width apart here. Maybe we can just touch the heels with the fingertips. And then we'll tuck the shoulders underneath, plant the palms and feet into the mat, slightly tucking the chin in. On your inhale, rolling up the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, lifting the pelvis up into our bridge pose. A nice strengthener in the thighs and the ankles here. Another good strong asana to build some strength. and stability in the lower body. Slow, deep breaths. Pressing the feet into the mat to lift the hips up higher if we can. One more breath. Exhale, we can roll back down the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. Bring the knees into your chest again and give yourself a nice hug here. Maybe a quick rock side to side again. And then we'll finish with another nice stretch throughout the legs here. So we can grab hold of our straps. If we don't have any straps, we can always use a belt or maybe even a towel instead. So whatever you've got lying around the house will suffice. And we'll take the strap and hook it around the sole of the right foot. We can extend the left leg down to the mat. And then lengthening that right leg up into the sky, we can maybe slide the hands down the strap here so that we can lengthen through this leg as much as we can. Maybe the leg only comes to about here. That's absolutely fine. If the leg comes here, that's fine. We're just working with our bodies today. And again, we're reaching that heel up to the ceiling and feeling that stretch all the way down the back of the leg. We can be soft in the knee. Exhale, pull that leg a little bit closer to you. And then keeping both of the straps, if we're using a strap today, in the right hand. As we exhale with control, slowly take the right foot over to your left side. You can always take the left arm out to the side to support you a bit here. And we'll feel that stretch move to the outside of your right leg. Working that iliotibial band that connects from the hip to the knee to the ankle. And again, just enjoying this asana, relaxing here. Even if the stretch feels intense, use your breath. Inhale, bring the leg back up to your center. Bring both the straps into your left hand. We can extend the right arm out to the side. And then exhaling with control, taking that right leg out to the right side. And we'll feel the stretch move to the inside of the right leg. Keep flexing that heel away. You can maybe even bring the straps into the right hand if that feels a bit easier for you. One more breath. On your inhale, with control, bringing the leg back to your center, we can bend the knee into the chest just to unhook the strap or belt or whatever we're using today. And bring the left knee back into your chest as well. Give yourself a quick hug here, maybe a flex point of the toes or circle of the ankles. And then extending the right leg down to the mat, keep your left knee into the chest. We'll grab hold of our straps or belts or towels, whatever we're using. And we can exhale, press that left foot into the sky, coming into our reclined hamstring stretch. And again, we can have a bend in that knee. We don't need to be lengthened. We're pressing the heel up to the ceiling. Nice active stretch. You can use your exhales to pull that leg closer to the chest. Maintaining length as much as we can though, so that we keep that stretch in the hamstrings. One more breath. Bringing both the straps into your right hand. Exhaling slowly with control, taking that left foot over to the right side as far as comfortable for you. The leg doesn't have to come all the way over. We want to keep grounded through that lower back. And again, we want to feel that nice stretch in the iliotibial band all the way down the side of your left leg. One more breath. Inhale, bring the leg back to your center. We'll switch the hands. We can bring the strap into the left hand or we can keep it in the right, whatever's comfortable for you. And taking that left leg out to the left side. Again, staying lengthened through that leg as much as we can. Flexing the toes, pressing the heel away. And nice deep breaths. You can use your exhales to keep opening that left leg out to the side. And again, the leg doesn't have to come down to the ground. That's not what we're aiming for here. We want a nice stretch on the inside of the leg. Maybe we feel a bit of a stretch in the back of the knee here. One more breath. On your inhale, bringing the leg back to your center with control. We can bend in the knee and we can unhook that strap. Pop it aside. Bring both the knees into your chest again. Give yourself one last nice hug here. Maybe a quick little rock side to side. Flex point of the toes or roll of the ankles. Great. And then from here, we can just gently roll over onto one side, whichever side you'd like, and just help yourself come back to sit. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you guys enjoyed that nice little flow. Hopefully we feel a bit more open in the knees and the ankles now. If you enjoyed the video, please like, maybe give me a little comment in the comment sections below, and subscribe to my channel for more free daily yoga content. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Namaste.